Thank you for choosing the Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser. This series of videos will discuss the problems of stress, urge and mixed incontinence and explain how you can manage, improve and even overcome the problem using the exerciser and additional Kegel exercises. Incontinence is much more common than you might think. It affects nearly 1 in 4 women between the ages of 18 and 70, so you're not alone. It occurs most often as a result of weakening of the pelvic floor muscles, which can happen for various reasons, especially pregnancy and childbirth, and the natural effects of ageing. The good news is that these muscles react very well to the correct stimulation and, like any muscle, with regular exercise, will get stronger and stay strong. The Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser is very simple to use and highly effective. Using the exerciser, especially in conjunction with the Kegel exercises described later on, will provide the majority of women with a significant improvement in the management of their incontinence and a strong possibility of overcoming the problem entirely. And having one less thing to worry about will no doubt improve the quality of your life. Before using the exerciser, please read the instruction manual carefully, especially the precautions and warnings. Incorrect use may not provide for optimal benefit and could cause some discomfort. The Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser is supplied as a complete pack. Inside the box you'll find a control unit, the exerciser itself, a battery and charger unit, the lead wire used to connect the exerciser to the control unit, an advice leaflet, a comprehensive instruction booklet, and a plastic wallet for keeping everything together neatly. Preparing your exerciser for use is very simple. The first thing to do is charge the battery using the supplied charger, then insert the battery into the control unit. The instruction manual explains in detail how to do this. To switch the unit on, just press the power button on the front of the unit for 3 seconds. The screen should light up and you should hear a little beep. You can switch the unit off by pressing the power button again. To attach the exerciser to the control unit, first unravel the lead wire. You'll see that at one end of the wire there are 2 separate plugs with metal prongs sticking out. Insert these into the cylindrical sockets at the end of the wire which extends from the exerciser. It doesn't matter which plug goes into which socket. At the other end of the lead wire is a plug which looks like the sort of USB plug you'd see on a computer or mobile phone. Insert this into the socket on the bottom of the control unit, making sure that the little arrow on the plug is towards the back of the unit. Your Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser is now ready for use. Before using your Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser, you will need to empty your bladder, and you may want to lubricate the exerciser with lubricating gel or water, although this isn't strictly necessary. Choose a comfortable position, such as leaning back or lying down on your bed, and make sure that the unit is switched off. Insert the exerciser into the vagina, in the same way as you would a tampon, until only the flange at the base of the exerciser is visible. Ensure that the exerciser is aligned so that the metal panels are to the sides and the curved edges of the flange are vertical. Press and hold the power button for 3 seconds to switch the controller on. You can now select from the preset programs: stress, urge, mixed or tone. Details in the instruction manual will help you identify the best program to suit you. The unit will automatically select the stress program the first time it's switched on. Thereafter, it will automatically select whichever program you were using the last time it was switched off. To swap between the programs, press the Program button, which is labelled P. Keep pressing and releasing the button until the program you want is displayed on the screen. With the required program selected, you can now adjust the intensity of the muscle stimulation by pressing the Strength Up and Strength Down buttons until you reach a comfortable level. When set to use the stress program, the exerciser stimulates a sensation which feels like a strong drawing in of the vagina and pulling up of the pelvic floor. Your natural reaction will be to pull in and up with your muscles, thereby exercising and strengthening them. The urge program stimulates a sensation of longer and softer pulling in of the pelvic floor. When the program finishes and your pelvic floor muscles relax, it will become apparent how much your pelvic floor has been exercised. The mixed program combines the stress and urge programs. The overall sensation is not as strong as the stress program and is accompanied by a slight, pleasurable throbbing. The tone program allows the pelvic floor muscles to remain in excellent condition once they've regained their strength. The sensation alternates between a strong drawing in of the muscles and a gentle release of tension. To start with, you may not feel any sensation at all. This depends very much on the individual and any pre-existing physical conditions, so slowly increase the intensity by repeatedly pressing the Strength Up button until you begin to feel the muscles around your vagina contract. If this sensation becomes uncomfortable, reduce the intensity using the Strength Down button. If you experience cramping, switch the unit off until the symptoms go away, then continue the session with the intensity set at a lower level. The screen will display the current intensity, and you should aim to increase the intensity you use over a number of days. But remember, there's no hurry, so only increase the strength of the stimulation as and when you're comfortable and ready to progress. The length of each session is automatically set to 20 minutes, but as your pelvic floor muscles begin to strengthen, you may want to increase the duration of the sessions. To do this, simply press the time selector button repeatedly until the desired duration is displayed on the screen. When the timer reaches 0, your session is complete. Switch off the control unit and remove the exerciser from your vagina by holding the flange and gently pulling outwards. Be careful not to pull the wires as they may become disconnected. Wash and thoroughly dry the exerciser and return it to the storage pouch, along with the control unit and lead wire. The Tenscare Elise pelvic floor exerciser will not only improve your pelvic floor muscles, but also enable you to know the correct sensation you need to feel when doing your Kegel exercises, which are explained in the next chapter. Kegel exercises are intended to help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles. The pelvic floor muscles help to support and keep in place the bladder, uterus and bowel, but they can be weakened by the stresses and strains of pregnancy and childbirth and the natural progression of aging, so it's important to exercise these muscles to keep them strong. Kegel exercises can be done at any time and are very discreet, so you can do them almost anywhere, lying in bed, sitting at the computer, waiting for a bus. It's a good idea to try to develop a routine which you can repeat each day. First of all, though, it's important to find your pelvic floor muscles and feel them working, so here are a couple of techniques which might help. Try inserting a finger or maybe two into your vagina and then squeezing the surrounding muscles, lifting up and towards your tummy button, a squeezing and lifting sensation. Another way is to try to stop the flow of urine during urination. If you're successful, then you know you're exercising the correct muscles. These techniques are just to help you confirm that you are using the correct muscles. It's important to have an empty bladder before starting the actual exercises. Try to remember the lifting and squeezing sensation, and when you're ready, try to recreate it just using the muscles you identified earlier. Don't tense the muscles in your legs, stomach or bottom, and remember to breathe normally. Aim to hold each squeeze or contraction for between 3 and 5 seconds, then release and relax. You should feel a letting go of the muscles. Rest for 5 seconds and then repeat. Try to do about 10 squeezes in this way and repeat the whole process 3 or 4 times a day. Over a period of time, try to increase the muscle contractions up to about 10 seconds, but remember to rest in between each squeeze for longer periods. It's important to aim for quality contractions, not quantity, so a few good hard squeezes are better than a series of weak ones. And don't worry if you find holding for 3 seconds difficult at first. Just squeeze for as long as you feel comfortable. The more exercise you do, the stronger the muscles will become and the longer you'll be able to squeeze. You can also use your Tenscare Elise in conjunction with Kegel exercises, which will give you a better understanding of how they work and how to get the greatest benefit from them.